coming to the point where we said, hey, I really want to learn how to play something. I really want to play the music. Is it because you were listening to music all the time and just always listening to it and say, okay, I want to jump in and do it? Or did you hear one person play and say, I want to do that? I'm wondering about that. I thought it would be interesting to think about that a bit. And then, as you've been taking lessons for a while, are we recording yet?
Yes.
Great. Then as you're taking lessons for a while, is the interest in listening to other music, does it grow or does it diminish as you're working on your own craft and learning how to do it yourself? Just a question to ponder, and I would like to ask everybody. The word listen contains the same letters as the word silent. And that's by Alfred Brendel. So what does it mean to be silent and listen? It's almost like we have to take everything out of what we're thinking about. And like the exercise we did for artistic listening when we all went outside to listen to the different sounds that we heard on the property. When we listen, we have to mute out some of the extraneous sounds so that we can focus on what it is that we're intending to listen to. And here he is. There's a quote by Mitsubishi Oshida, and it says, when I played a note of Schubert, I don't want anybody walking around and talking. I was looking at the video from the last time, and while we were talking, they were in the background doing all kinds of stuff, walking around and everything. And the third quote I had was from Jacqueline Dupre. That's the last name is spelled D-U and then P-R-E. Her videos are out. I would highly recommend to take a look at one of those. You can never imagine anyone more passionate about music than watching her play. And what she says is playing lifts you out of yourself into a delirious place. And she certainly illustrates that when she plays. So let's see, we have all violin today. I'm thinking, Abigail, do you want to start today? We have a debut performer, Naomi. Did you introduce yourself? Good. Good. And Abigail, do you like to play first?
Okay.
All right, let me pull up my set list for you. Abigail. Okay, good. You want to announce your piece? By Gossec.
So I'm Abigail, and I'll be playing the Gavotte.
By Gossec.
I wasn't sure how to pronounce that one.
Yeah, it's Gossec. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm. All right, good. It's nice when you can hear the applause. You probably can't hear it. Oh, gosh.
I can hear it.
All right, very nice. You want to do it one more time?
Sure.
There are a few things that happened that didn't happen at the last lesson. Let's have another try at it. Oh, I like that ending. Good. Very nice. One thing I love about Abigail's playing is she has a beautiful tone, and we were working on her lesson about how to harness and pull that in so it doesn't ring so much. And I think you did a great job with that, so we could be faithful to the dynamics. I think that I love the endings of all your phrases. Let's work a little bit on the B section. And there are notes there that do not have dots on them, so that means that they're connected. You see what I'm talking about? Anybody who's got their Suzuki book, we're on page
Yeah.
we're on page 43. And it's number 17. So it's the third line. So try it with less bow. And I think everybody did the settings for their... Hi, Addie. Good morning. Everybody did the settings for not the microphone not adjusting for the for the dynamics. Try a little bit less bow instead of more bow. See, it's a lot louder that way. So, and then after that, those three notes, the F major, and then the G major comes next, and then the A minor chord comes next, the arpeggio. Those are smooth without stop bows. Just like lightly row, those are all connected. Then it's a little bit, maybe a little more bow. G major. Then reset, a little more bow. Connecting. Okay, and then the rest of it's detached, is marked delayed.
Okay, you want me to play that part again?
Yeah, let's do just the first two measures.
Okay.
That's it. And go out a little bit. You're going a little bit this way today in general. Okay? Let's do the whole line now. Good, good. And the way you picked that up, I thought was really good. And then where are we at? We might have to push down a little bit to make it louder. So we're increasing in our dynamics. So the first one is very soft, little tiny bow. The next one, you're going to do a little bit more pressure. The third one, on measure 13, then we're using more bow. I'll demonstrate. So the first part, little tiny bows, not much pressure. And then the next part is going to be more pressure. And then the next one's going to be pressure and more bow. Okay, you want to try it?
Okay.
All right. tiny, 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 half inch. We're on Zoom, so we have to really exaggerate our dynamics. There you go. There you go. You want to play the whole thing one more time? And then we'll move over to Naomi.
All right.
Yay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abigail. This is a work in progress. We still haven't learned even the rest of the piece, but I thought it would be great to hear you play what you've got so far. All righty. So now we have Abigail. Are you tuned? You have your violin tuned?
Was it me, Miss Quinn? I'm next there.
Yeah, I was just asking if you had your violin tuned.
Oh, yes.
Great. So this is Naomi's first time performing. How long have you been playing? A year or two or something?
I think almost 2 years. It's almost 2 years. Yeah.
And she's an adult, starting, never played anything, no music or anything. Just starting from scratch.
Yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Naomi, and I will be performing Etude by I don't know how to pronounce his name. Shinichi? Is that how you?
Suzuki?
Suzuki, yeah. Is that oh?
Is this number 9?
12.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. I don't know how I did that, but I had the wrong piece here set up. There we go. Doubles?
Oh, great.
Not the whole arm. Don't do the whole arm.
Yeah.
Don't do the whole arm. I know you're a little tight, so you're a little nervous. Just make sure it's little things.
Okay.
one before. Did anybody notice that partway through the end, she got on the backwards bowing? I don't know if anybody noticed that. And
I did. I noticed I messed up there.
and I remember this time I was doing a jury at music school, and there was this one part that was really hard where it, it was an up-bow staccato thing, which is, it was supposed to go up-bow usually. Anyway, I wound up on the backwards bowing, and I was coming up on that passage, and I could see my teacher, my professor, getting ready to tap me out and rescue me so I wouldn't have to play it. And I just looked at him, and wink, I got it because I had, practiced my whole life with down bow. And so I was able to do it both ways. And I see you did the same thing, Naomi. I see you did the same thing. You wound up with the backwards bowing, but still was pretty good, and you slowed down to keep it under control. And I think you're a really good performer.
Oh, thank you. I was nervous. My hands were shaking.
Oh, well, that can be good. That can be good. Won't fall asleep during it. That's great. I don't have too much to say. Only that when you get nervous, just remember in the future, when you have something fast in the upper half of the bow, just remind yourself, I'm performing and I have to remember not to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got their thing. You were breathing deeply. And so I felt that you were about as calm as you could be today.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do it again, or is that enough for you today?
That's okay. That's enough.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We only have one more, and it's Anissa. Unless we have any surprise performers. Anybody want to play that was not planning to? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we'll do it all good.
There we go.
There, did you get the cats? Get the cats all settled in there?
Well, the other one's laying on the floor.
So I'm Anissa, and I'll be playing Minuet number 2 by Bach.
Brava! I think this was a great example of using the bow to get the dynamics. Raise your hand if you could hear on your system, because everybody's got different computers and so forth. I've got a Mac, so the sound's really great. Who could hear the differences between the louds and the softs? Can you raise your hand? Or if it sounded the same, don't raise your hand. Okay, so Abigail and Naomi, Stewart, and Shannon, it sounded the same to you? Aha. So it might be something in your system. And remind me the next time I see you, and I'll show you what to do to adjust the settings. we did something in the beginning. Okay, what to work on with this one? When you have these arpeggios, and we get a little nervous in this, so be careful not to be going out like this a little bit too much. It got a little bit unclear. Let's try it right now doing this. So 2 quick ones, and then a pause. And you can pause as long as you want. And then check everything. Is everything in line? Okay. Like that.
Okay.
Okay, so therein lies, therein lies the rub. That's how we can expose the problem areas, is putting little pauses in there in the middle of it. You want to try it again?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit slower, because this is where the problem is in the arpeggio. And where are you in the frog? You're so far away.
I'm gonna
Okay, move out. No, that's a good place. All right, go ahead. That's a good place. Good. Let's do it again. Little bit more bow. Don't worry about the tone. Let's go for pitch and moving the bow quickly, keeping it under control. Good. So out in, not.
Yeah.
When we move the bow fast, we have to think out, think in very quickly, like immediately. And we can practice that watching the tip in the, in the background. You want to try it again?
Okay.
Out in, out in, out in. There you go. You want to try it without the pauses? Dum ba ba da ya da ba. About that speed. All right. So that sounded better to me. Can we do the B section again?
Sure.
Yeah, the dynamics are really good. It's just like for people to pay attention. We have in the B section, it starts out at piano, and we put a diminuendo right before at 28. And in between those two, well, is the mezzo forte. So let's listen and watch how she's using her bow. I think it's a really good example of using the bow in such a way where when you're passing this through cyberspace, we can get more dynamics. Oh, let's hear the end. We worked so hard on that. Yay! To get it held together, that was really good. Thank you. So I posed a question early on to think about. You know, so whenever I do these classes, I hardly sleep the night before, so because all these ideas come rushing to think about, well, what can we talk about today, in the next class? So I was thinking about the idea that when I was a child, when I was a little baby, and they put some music on, there's little videos of me running around swinging this thing, in time with the music, and I think all little kids do that. There wasn't a whole lot of concert going before I got involved with playing music, but if I think about my life throughout, I think I was more interested, for myself, I was more interested in getting my hands into the piano and getting into the making of the music rather than the listening. And I've also talked to other professionals and asked them, what's your household like when nobody's around? Do you listen to music? And I think just about, Stewart, I should ask you about that. When you were playing, were you like listening to music all the time, or was your household quiet? You remember?
Me? Always playing music, always listening, learning. It was more about, and for me, I listened to vocalists, great vocalists, to understand, we play instruments as opposed to the voice, but our objective is to imitate the voice through our instrument, and that was always my personal challenge. How do I create that direction, that emotion through my instrument? So.
Oh, that's a great answer. I love it. And I'll tell you, Stewart definitely pulls it off. Can we tell them that you have YouTube sound from a long time ago? The recording devices were not that great, but boy, I listened to a few of them, and you could get some good examples of that. Did you have a certain singer? Was it operatic or lots of different singers that you would listen to?
No, it's operatic, definitely. I didn't listen to the Rolling Stones until after college.
Well, I have to say, I was listening to Rolling Stones all along, but... Well, I actually, once I became professional, I just love to live in silence myself, and I don't have music going in the background, but like Stewart, for my inspiration, I will go to the movies live at the Met just to hear the Metropolitan Opera singers. So I would say opera is also my source of information and inspiration for making music. So anybody else want to raise their hand if they want to talk about or just say a few words about what they're drawn to more at this stage in their journey? Are they drawn to listening? Before you started playing, did you listen a whole lot? Now you're not listening so much, you're just practicing, or you're listening more? Anybody would like to share something about this? Don't be shy, just raise your hand. Oh, Judy!
This isn't about today, but when I was little, my folks always had Fred Waring, showing my age here, orchestra playing all this classical music, and I still remember hearing that in the household during the daytime.
Neat. So did that make you want to play, or?
I just really enjoyed listening to it, and I can still hear it in my mind, and I enjoy putting some music on, but all different kinds of music. I don't have one particular kind I like.
Right, me too. What about you, Naomi? On another age of the another end of the age spectrum.
Well, for me, I kind of grew up listening to music, and so around the church, a lot of people would come and play music and guitar, so I would observe and listen. And so when I started playing violin now I think I listen more. No, more like I think I play. No, I play more, because before I would listen, so now I play. I think that kind of drew me to play.
Oh, thank you. What about you, Shannon? Are you listening as much now as before you started your actual playing of the instrument?
I'm listening more now than I was before, I would think. What actually got me interested in the violin was I was going to concerts and orchestras, and the violin sound just always just seemed to resonate with me. And I would go watch some YouTube videos, and just one day, one of these random videos popped up. And I think I told you about this at the beginning. It was Andre Rio.
Oh, I remember you did tell me about
Yeah. If none of you have ever heard of this guy, you should check it out. This guy is almost like a comedian with the violin. He makes the violin look so simple. And the things he does with the violin, the way he plays it, it's like magic. It's just absolutely amazing. And that just inspired me to play the violin. And that's when I found Stephanie.
Awesome, thank you. Anissa, do you want to say anything? Have any ideas?
I don't know. I've been playing music so long. I guess I don't think I've been listening to music any more or less now than I used to.
Yeah. What about you, Patty? I've been working with you for, I think, a shorter time than with anybody else. We never even talked about this. Are you somebody who listens to lots of classical music? I know before you came to me, you had done, where you used to live, lots of chamber music.
Yeah, I used to play in an orchestra and a quartet. I'm music-wise, I'm mostly interested in composing, like, I'm both interested in classical and like electronic music. Music from video games has been
That's right.
kind of a really big thing.
Tell me about that.
I'm not sure whether I definitely listen to music less now than I used to. It's a big thing with my mom and my brother, who went to like he went to middle school and like he used to be in the American Boy Choir. So I guess it's kind of been a thing in the household.
Oh, very nice. What about you, Abigail?
Well, I listened to a lot of music growing up, and I guess since I started, since I started playing instruments, I think I listen to music a little less, just because I used to listen to it at night when I was in bed, and now I don't usually do that because A, I want to get to sleep, and B, I don't want to get tired of my CDs too quickly. So
You don't.
That's-
You said you
that's
don't.
the only,
You don't want to get tired of your CDs? Is that what you said?
yeah, I don't, yeah, you listen, how you listen to a song over and over again, it gets old. Just trying to save it a little bit.
I never thought of that. Well, thank you. Who's that up there? Is that? I think that's Mason. Do you want to say anything about it, Mason? I can hardly recognize him with that haircut and so far away. You're not getting any bigger. Okay. Mason, do you listen to much classical music? What about you, Nate?
We were on mute.
Do you listen to classical music?
Not really.
Oh, might be a good time to start.
Yeah.
You can listen to something now. I'll play something by Vivaldi. It's the first movement of the A minor. I think I'll have to angle this up because I'm tall. Are you able to see me or not?
It's a little dark.
That I can't do too much about. Let's see. I think no matter where I am, it's going to be a little bit like that. Settling my nerves a little bit. You can always do a long tuning if you want to get yourself settled down. Did you like that little fake ending there? I find that's in some of the partitas and the unaccompanied sonatas by Bach, where you'll think you're at the end and then, oh, there's another one. I was going to bring that out. I angled myself this way because I wanted to show some of the level changes. Many of you are working on the level changes, so that's why I went like this. And one of you, it was Abigail, had some really nice level changes. And Naomi, in your piece, you have to come down on the open string and then come up, and your level changes are so clear. You'll hear it when you hear this back. It'll be probably on YouTube. And you'll hear it where you can hear your open string ringing right through. So when you get that arm up and do that level change really right and grab it during that, when you're practicing it with that martelage, you get that string vibrating right away. It just loops around with a beautiful sound. And I'm hearing that in everybody today. I'm really happy about that. I'm just going to see if there are any questions. Anybody that, anything you want to hear next time? I might play some Elton John. I'm thinking about it. Tonight I'm playing at a piano bar in Chicago. I'm not flying there, but this guy, he's been helping me with some of the technology. And we got together last night. His name's Bob Salone. And tonight I'm going to be sticking this thing in my ear, see? And then I can hear him really well, and we're going to be playing simultaneously. It's pretty neat. If anybody's interested in a link for that, Saturday night, I came and watched the first time a couple of weeks ago. Oh my gosh, I mean, just some fabulous jazz singers. And so anyway, he invited me to play a couple songs tonight. So I'm looking forward to that and doing maybe a little pop piano for you next time or the time after that. Does anybody have any questions about practicing, about performing? I'm not that good of a teacher, but anyway. I guess we'll sign off for today. Has it been, I don't even know what time it is. A little early. All right, we can sign off for today if you like. Jared was planning to come today, and his would have taken about 15 minutes, and he said he has to come in 2 weeks, so we'll hear the Mozart from him. Apologies to the people I sent the music to so you could follow along with him. All righty, so should we close out the meeting now? Yay. Thank you all for coming. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
You too.
Happy 4th of July.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.